All right, everybody, this will be a warning to all politicians. I'm running for president 2024. Those of you who aren't, this will be part 75. Those of you who aren't familiar with this, if enough people decide to write me in as a candidate in 2024, when the time comes, I would officially file the paperwork to be a candidate in the election. And the purpose of all this is to be the first, I think it would be the first totally only YouTube campaign for President of the United States. And also this would be totally independent, no campaign finance, no volunteers, no donations, none of the hoopla, the circus the politicians and the news media have made out of our elections. So this is just me giving my ideas and opinions, and if enough people like it and write me in, I will file the paperwork when the time comes, and we'll give it a go. And the main purpose is there's a lot of things I think we can fix in this country, and get my ideas out there, and maybe waking the politicians up for them to quit being politicians and do their jobs, and keep their oaths to the people of this nation and the Constitution, and get America back on track domestically, and in our domestic policies, and in our foreign policy. So that's the whole gist of everything. You can give a thumbs up, whatever. I'm not looking for massive subscribers or to be monetized on YouTube. Not looking for donations. If you think it's a worthy cause, go out and donate to whatever your heart and soul lead you to, whatever you're inclined to. Can be American Heart Association, can be ASPCA, can be charities that feed people or provide doctors around the world, whatever it is. Your local church, your mosque, whatever you feel is a worthwhile cause. And you can donate or volunteer your time, do your part, however small it might be, to lend a hand in helping your fellow humanity. So here lately, seen a lot of the constant attack by the left and by groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, which, if you dig deeper into, is not just a bunch of people worried about civil rights. There's big money behind it. Big money is being sucked up by the leaders of these groups. It's just people getting rich off your emotions. So you really need to check into a lot of these things. And it's shameful the left, Portland, Seattle, keeps people like that, keep encouraging the lawlessness, keep tone the line on their anti-social, anti-Trump, anti-America line, which it keeps encouraging, these people to be out in the streets and all this. And all you people in the streets got to realize, you know, the people behind all this that keep inciting you to be outraged and everything else like this, they're not the ones out there risking themselves in the streets. They're not the ones who are going to go to jail or have their lives messed up. They're gonna make their money off it and sit back and do their little news interviews and stuff like that. And you're just a pawn, and that's the way socialism works. And the whole Marxist thing works. You know, they're gonna find the people they can incite to go out and do heinous things, have them go out and do it, and then they're gonna throw their hands up and say, hey, we're not we're for peaceful stuff. We don't encourage people to go out and do violence. So don't be a stooge, don't be used as a pawn. And you see a lot of these people on these YouTube things from these groups, because there's people go out and question them. Hey, why do you feel this way? What is that? Explain your positions. And it's what's shameful is a lot of these people are college students, and they have no clue of even why they're out there to support what they don't have a clue. About actually, you know, what socialism is and this and that, and you see a lot of people, and even people who've migrated to this country. They're like, oh, America, this and that, and blah, 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 and it's the reason, you know. There's one guy's like, I think he says he's from Bangladesh, talking to a guy who used to live in the Soviet Union who was pro-American, and he's asking him, you know, hey, you know, I lived in that system, or he's telling him, I lived in that system, you know, I just want to know why, you know, you support it and all this, and the people go off on him, you know. And it's like, even though he's got an accent and everything, he tells them, hey, you know, I used to live in the Soviet Union, and I know a thing or two about what you're trying to support and everything. And just wonder if you know what you're talking about. And they go off on him. And so there's such a frenzy, you can't even have a reasonable conversation with somebody and say, hey, look, do you really know how it's going to be if you were to install the socialist ideas and all this and everything in this country? Do you know the real truths and the real facts? You know, and they go off on them, but you know, the thing is like, yeah, in America this and America that and all this. And it's like, well, why'd you come here? Why did you come here? You could have went anywhere else in the world. You know, why'd you come here? Go to Canada, man. Go wherever, and you list all these Scandinavian countries and stuff. And you know, oh look, you know, they got this there and they pay this there and all that. And have you really looked into it? Oh, and the people are the most happiest and all this and everything. Well, there's a lot of variables. Yeah, taking into fact, look how big America is. Look how many people are here. And we're one of the most diverse countries on the face of the earth. We got our problems, but we can work through them. We can fine-tune stuff and make things better. You point to these Scandinavian countries. They've had a pretty good ride of not having the amount of people, not having to have the military budget we have. You know, it's like Canada. Hey, you know, what do they have to worry about militarily? You know, who's going to invade them with us next door? These Scandinavian countries don't have a nation like Mexico on their border, where they've been, you know, we've got more illegals here than some of them have populations. those Scandinavian countries. They've been like the white Wakandas. Do you understand that? For years and years and years and years. They're just now, the last decade, having to deal with mass immigration and stuff, and you can see the problems it's causing there, because some of their politicians are just like throwing open the doors and letting everybody, like in Germany and stuff. Now that's another. If you look at the Scandinavian countries, look at the immigration policies of these countries. A lot tougher than ours. It's probably why you couldn't go there. Lot tougher than ours. Like I said, these nations have been the white Wakandas. You understand? And you look at a lot of their policies and stuff. You can go back and look at some of the things Hitler installed. Have babies for the white population. Have babies. The deductions and the incentives for them to have children are there in their tax thing. You see, and that's what's wrong here is with welfare and everything. Have babies, we'll give you more money. Same thing. Hitler installed the same stuff in Nazi Germany. So we have to look at a lot of these policies with our welfare, our immigration and stuff, and we gotta start saying, whoa, wait a minute. You people that hate us and want to come here, well, you're not coming here, because we're not going to deal with you. We're not going to have you come here. We're not going to. We open our doors and say, hey, come on in. We'll take you in as a refugee, this and that, and then you get here and you want to destroy us. What kind of sense does that make to anybody in America? You get so many people who are so politically correct and everything. It's like you're giving the bullets to the people who want to kill you. You're insane. You just, it was like during the debates and everything with Trump, the first election there. Trump says, he might not always say it correctly, or, there's a lot of people say he's always putting his foot in his mouth. I don't think so. I think a lot of stuff he says just, he's trolling for a lot of stuff. But, he's always said the way he feels about it. That's one thing with him. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he's going to tell you like it is, or at least his viewpoint on it, whether he's right or he's wrong. And that's during the debates. And he'd say things to people and stuff, and you could tell they wanted to lose it and go off so bad. But they're such a politician. Such a politician. And such spin doctors and stuff that, you could see it. They're biting at the bit. They were like, you could see, how they wished. You just see how they could wish they could just be as free as he was and say whatever the hell he thought. Because here's the thing. Yeah, he wanted to be president, but if he would have lost, he would have said, okay, people made their choice. They made the wrong choice, but they made their choice, and he would have went off and done something else. No big deal. To these people who run for president, this is their everything. This isn't my everything, but like to Trump, it wasn't his everything. He thought he could do a good job. Wanted to make America great again, as he says. A lot of things he saw wrong, he wants to correct. He put his hat in the ring. I'm going to run for president, and we're going to try and fix this. And what happens, happens. No big deal. To these other people, it's their careers. It's their absolute passion. They have to be number one. They have to have that power. They have to. Hillary wanted to be president so friggin' bad that, you know, afterward you could tell how angry and how rejected and all her supporters and she was and everything like that. Trump, it would have been, hey, no big deal. People made the choice, and he was said made the wrong choice, and he went back off to opening hotels around the world or doing whatever. But you can tell it's like, you know, if you can imagine a priest who has to listen to confessions of people and their sexual exploits, you know, he's got to be biting at the bit sometimes. That's why they go and molest the children. Oh, I wish you goddamn people, you friggin' people. I got to put on this air of being perfect and not having any sexual desire and this and that and everything. Oh, you sons of bitches out there running around. You know, it's kind of like the politicians. There's Trump. He's telling it like it is. He's saying whatever the hell he wants to. And there's these politicians that are like, son of a bitch, I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Why can't I act like that? You understand? They built their own cages. These people on the left are really building their own cages. You know, they can't come out and say what's right or wrong. The mayor up there in friggin' Seattle, oh, summer love and all this, until they came and knocked on her door. Then she finally took some action. You know, it's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. They paint themselves into these corners. But if you do some research, I just did a little bit on these Scandinavian countries and everything. Like I said, the white Wakandas have been. They're going to have to deal with a lot more things now, you know, with you know, refugees and stuff from all parts of the world and stuff, and trying to get into their countries and stuff. You know, it's worked for them. And that's the other thing. A lot of people, oh, white Western civilization. Oh, you bastards. Oh, well, look at all the countries that have been built. The most prosperous, you know, hardly any crime in a lot of these Scandinavian countries. And people say, well, that's because of the economics, because of this and that. No, they don't have the welfare system that we have. Yeah, they have some socialist medicine and this and that, and it's not like you think, but there's also, you know, these white Western civilizations was, you know, you got to toe the line. You know, they didn't have millions of migrants coming in and getting on the dole, you know, and kicking back. You know, if you're busting your ass every day working, doing whatever, you're loading ships, you're working on the docks, all this and everything, and then you're being taxed 50% of what you make. You know, it's people, oh, they make this amount of money per hour over there and this and that. Yeah, but then they're taxed 50%. So they're back down to our level. The cost of living, I was looking at some of that, it's probably about evenly, depending on what part of America you live in. It's probably pretty close to cost of living here. But they don't have millions of people coming in, getting on welfare, then having more babies so they can get more food stamps, this and that and everything. You know, they don't have a Mexico on their southern border or any of their borders. You know, and that's the thing here. You know, people want this system, the socialist system, you know, and we're going to tax the hell out of all the rich and all this and everything. Really? You think them NFL stars and basketball players and stuff want to be taxed 70 and 90% of their salaries? Won't they just ask for more money to compensate so they can keep their lifestyles? You know, I get it about better wages and this and that and being able to live, but I also don't think, you know, hey, if you're a half-ass floater that goes from job to job, has no ambition, has no life plan, no nothing, and you go and you work part-time doing a trash collector, then you work, you get another job, you're cooking in a restaurant, then you get another job, doing whatever. And in the meantime, you're drinking a 12-pack every day and all this and everything, and you're not contributing anything to your own well-being in all this, as far as having any kind of medical insurance and all this, that I bust my ass, or somebody else busts their ass and builds a career trying to get ahead, trying to make a better life, and that you should be able to tax the hell out of my wages and give it to somebody who just, doesn't care about anything. Oh, I need to go, let me go to the doctor, it's free. Because all you're going to do is you're going to get rid of the middle class. You can see it in LA and all these cities and everything right now. They've increased these Democratic areas. They have increased the inequity between the rich and the poor. You got ultra rich out there in LA and all that and everything. And then you look at the streets, you got all the homeless encampments, same Seattle, Portland, all over the place. Mostly in cities where the weather's nicer. Because if you're going to live in a tent, guess what? You don't want to be where you're going to freeze. You don't want to be where it's too hot. And, you can't, you have this utopian idea. Oh, if we just make everything socialist, everything's going to be so much better for everybody. And no, it's not. Be better for some. But a lot of people, you're going to take the wind right out of their sails, and you're going to take the incentive away for them to work hard or to try to achieve. Because guess what? They're just going to keep working like slaves, while the people who just blow through life, they're going to be ones taking the vacations to Disneyland. Because they're going to have disposable income. You're going to tax the shit out of everybody in the middle. Won't have any disposable income. So the ultra rich will get to keep going on vacation and this and that. And then the poor stoners and drunkards and stuff, and people who just keep having babies and don't have to worry about feeding them because they got food stamps and live in this society and have nothing to do with their spare time but get out in the streets and condemn this society. There they are. And they got their grants, and they want to be perpetual students. They don't want to work. They want to be stoners. They want everything handed to them. And what do they do with all their spare time? Out in the streets, condemn the country. They find a cause. They got so much time on their hands. They don't know what to do. They've got no direction. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to jump on the screwed up alphabet bandwagon. I'm going to go out there and jump on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon. I'm going to go out there and jump on the immigration bandwagon. I'm going to condemn my country. I believe in being a patriot. I don't believe in being an uber patriot, but I believe in being a patriot, and I believe in saying, hey, you don't like it here, leave. Well, no, I'm an American now. I'm going to change America. No, you're not. We are a constitutional republic. It's why all our politicians, all our military take a vow, an oath to defend the Constitution. It is the basis in which this country is founded on. So you're not going to change the country. I don't think you quite understand the type of democracy we have here. We don't have full-blown democracy. It's not mob rules. Benjamin Franklin said, A true democracy is two wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner. That we can't have that. The founding fathers discussed mob rules, and what if your population is stupid? So they put in checks and balances. And these liberals and these people on the left are trying to get around those checks and balances, because what are they doing? From local courts on up, they put in these judges, these liberals. It doesn't matter what the law says. It doesn't matter what the evidence is. I'll give you an example. I've paid my child support. Never missed. Always paid her. Whether it came out of my paycheck or I had to pay her cash or whatever. Never missed. Child support's telling me I owe money and this and that. She's uncooperative, wouldn't go and tell him, hey, no, he doesn't. Had to go to court and all this and everything. She's sitting right there in the courtroom. The judge is saying, well, it shows here that, you're behind, blah, blah, blah. And, well, I'm not behind. I paid her directly. At one time, she gave a letter, notarized letter, saying I wasn't behind, that she's been paid. Then it happened again, and I asked her to do a letter again showing that she'd been paid, and she wouldn't do it at that point. She's uncooperative. So it got to that point of being in court. Now, she's sitting right there in court. And so I paid her, Your Honor, and this, well, all that money you gave her, that could have been gifts. What? Excuse me? Gifts. It's like, and this wasn't even something coming from, she never said anything. It's like this guy is looking for a way to condemn me and give her a free pass without her even going down that avenue. You understand? You're the white male. You must be guilty. Gifts. What are you talking about? I'm telling you, I've been paying her child support, marked clearly on the checks. If it was for anything else, I wrote on there it was for something else. Well, you could still owe all that other stuff. Could have been gifts. And I'm like, gifts? Are you kidding me? So I just pointed, and there she is right there. Ask her. And he didn't flat out come out and ask her, does he still owe you, to where she would have had to it would have had to been on the record. No, which, by the way, the transcript, they just put judge asked, discussion about child support, blah, 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 judge renders his verdict, blah, blah, blah. There was no actual word-for-word transcript. They didn't do that. Why, I don't know. But anyhow, she just goes, oh, I just want it to be done. I just want it to be done. He asked me, I just want it to be done. But he wouldn't flat out ask her, does he owe you money? Because it would have had to been direct no. And so, he's not going to put her on the spot and on the record. Well, it could have been gifts. What? Your Honor, I'm telling you right now, I paid my child support. Well, it could have been gifts. I just got done telling him I paid my child support. I didn't say I gave her a bunch of gifts. So he's pulling that out of his ass, out of the thin air, because he's got it in his head. Oh no, you're going to keep paying, buddy. So I pointed to her, and I'm like, there she is. Ask her. And she's like, I want it to be done. I just want it to be, He's like, well, I'm done, Your Honor. I fulfilled my obligation. I don't owe the state or her anything. So I got the judgment. But I'm saying they put these judges and these people and these counselors and this, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And you can see that, these mayors in these cities and stuff. This is a real danger. No matter what you think about me, my political opinions, the policies I would want to put into place and everything, you better wake up out there. Because they are attacking from every angle. They're putting these, for lack of a better term, retards in the political office. Who don't care. They're little dictators. Once they get in the office, they think that gives them rule over everybody. And you can see how they're going after people for speech, for standing up against them. How they got these prosecutors and stuff who are going to go after people based on political, ideological, and civil ideas. So you need to wake up. All right, wish you all the best out there. God bless. We'll do another one, go over some things didn't get to. Adios.